Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first video that you're seeing, hi. Welcome to the channel. But for everybody, welcome to Vlogmas. The 25 days themselves aren't laid out, but I do know that I got this Advent romance in Toronto. And this is the book that we collectively are going to buddy read together for December. Every day you open a new chapter. You're stuck on this channel here with me until December 25th. I don't make the rules. The Advent book did. Today though, I am setting up my mini Christmas tree because it's time to get into the spirit. So I've had this Christmas tree for, I don't know, I'd say 3 years now I've had this tree. It's convenient, you know. Take it apart, put it back together. Next year though, when I'm in a little bit bigger space, I'm gonna get a 6-foot tree. But I don't know if I'll wanna stick with white trees. I really like the look of white trees, but a green tree can be just so classic in Christmas. I have to like zhuzh it up a little bit. And then these lights come on here, which is lovely. And then I'll put on the ornaments that I have. What books are on y'all's December TBR? What type of reader would you classify yourself? Are you I want short novellas because it's crunch time and I got a book goal to meet? Also kind of time motivated, I guess, but like thinking about the books that you want to have read in 2025. So if there were books that you started the year saying you wanted to read, are those the ones that you're prioritizing? Are you a holiday reader, meaning that you only want to read like Christmas books or books that feel like winter to you? Or just a combination of all, a mood reader. I'm trying to make my TBR soon and I don't know what I want to put on. Turn off the lights. I'm going to wrap some books to put under the tree because I think that'd be cute. Stay tuned. My wrapping skills are questionable. 'Twas the night before Vlogmas 2025. I'm so excited. I've wanted to do Vlogmas since I've known what it was. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I had a new sub the other day said that I sound good when I sing. Guys, I've always asked people if I should go on American Idol, but they never took me for real. Night before Vlogmas, and everybody was subscribing to Cameron's library and getting excited to watch her videos for the next 25 days. Isn't that what you're doing? But since it's the end of November, I thought that I would do everything that I read in the month of November. My books that I've read, the amount has gone down because I've given more time recently to just trying to find something to enjoy about each book that I read, and it's been so helpful. We started the month with If It Makes You Happy by Olivia. I made a video about this, and I'll probably make more videos about this. This might be the romance of the year. I'm not sure yet. We still have time left, but this might be the romance of the year. Single dad, black cat, golden retriever, small town, Vermont, 1977. Bed and breakfast. He's a baker. She runs the bed and breakfast. Older sister. You getting the vibes that I'm putting down? This was amazing. It was 5 stars. I savored this. Next, I read What Happened to Nina by Dervla McTiernan. I really enjoyed this book. After such a romance, as I tend to do, I jumped for a thriller, mystery, to not fall into that reading slump. At the start of the book, we know that Nina is not alive anymore, and we also know that Simon did it. So we know these things. That's not a spoiler at all. What we don't know is how Simon's gonna get out of this, how he's gonna cover it up, and then we kind of get to see the relationship of the parents and different perspectives and family and friends and all of these different things and questions of what it means to be a mother of a killer but also the mother of a victim. Different questions like that. We had a speaker that was talking about the experiences of bereaved parents, and I just couldn't help but think, like, for these extreme cases like this, is this type of thought process and experience something that's going on so often? Because if so, I think people need to be having more conversations. Say all that to say that the book did touch on some heavy topics and heavy themes, but it was still very entertaining. There were interview portions. It just kept me on my toes. I like to listen to thrillers when I do chores around the house. This was one that I started in the morning and I finished at the end of the night because I was just hooked. I do recommend, and I would give this book 5 stars. Then the Dance Moms aficionado in me read Nia Sioux's book, Bottom of the Period. Bottom of the Pyramid, a memoir of persevering, dancing for myself, and starring in my own life. So people were talking about this, the NDAs are up, clearly. I appreciated just some of the knowledge about the behind the scenes things that I used to have questions about, like the production things, and just hearing Nia's experience. I know that it was circulating for a while, different things that Kelly and Christy had said on their podcast, but when it comes down to it, they are 2 white women, and this is a black woman speaking about her experience. If that's how she perceived it, that's what it is. I enjoyed it, but Abby was also racist. Bad. And some of the things that, were blatant and obvious, obviously Nia talked about, but also some of the ways that weren't. She even acknowledges the fact that, like, dance moms play such a pivotal role in pop culture. So it's not to say, oh, don't go watch the show, but it is to say, watch it through this lens and understand that this is what I was feeling at the time. Also, Kendall and Jill. We knew things about Kendall and Jill, but Kendall is a mean girl. And Jill wanted Kendall to realistically be Rosa Parks. Like, that wasn't a joke. I don't know if she was going to put her in blackface. I don't know what her intent was, but she wanted Kendall to have that role. I never know how to vote memoirs and or if I should. It's someone's, personal story. But I did give this 5 stars because I enjoyed the story, and I don't think a 5-star rating can, hurt anything. It was pretty short. It was 6 hours. Started it at the beginning of the day, finished it by the end, and just had such a good time. Nia narrates it, and Chloe also does the forward. It was a nice trip down memory lane while still being informative and true to the version that Nia wants us to know. Then I gave this book another chance with Love from Cold World by Alicia Thompson because earlier this year I gave Never Been Shipped another chance. I may have just struck gold once. I didn't need to go striving for it again. When I initially DNF'd this a year ago at 23%, I said this was one of the most boring books I've ever read, and that did not change, even though there's been a year gap in between. This was the type of story that was just better told. Well, the first 50% just didn't make any sense. And you might be wondering, well, how does a book not make sense? And if you're not wondering that, you should wonder that, because why are we allowing fluff to be published? Anyway, the first 50% didn't make sense, and then they hooked up, and it's like things started to make sense for them. And I personally don't like when a main character can't explain why he's in love. The cop-out answer to me is, I don't know, it kind of just all happened at one time. It kind of just happened. And it was all the little moments. It was all the little things. No, if you're going to tell me you love me and we've known each other for 3 months, I need to know why you feel like you do. But Asa and Lauren work at this like novelty cold world. Their boss has told them, hey, we need to do something new for cold world. It's not where people want to go. People want to go to Disneyland, Disney World. They don't want to come here. They are put on the task of coming up with something that could keep the business afloat. Through this forced proximity of having to work together, they fall in love. Asa has trauma, Lauren has trauma. They don't work through any of that trauma. They start hooking up. And then I just knew there was not going to be a breakup in this book. And there was. I was livid about it. If it's not clear, I don't have anything good to say about this book, but despite that, I still gave it 2 stars. I am still cultivating my rating scale, and soon I just need to make a video, so that'll help me kind of finalize what I think it is. But I give a star just for finishing a book. And then I think you get an additional star if you do something that I kind of like. So for me to go through this whole thing, could it have been to just see if maybe I'd get another 5-star redemption? Yeah, but also there had to be some parts that I liked about it because I could have just given up on it. I've DNF'd before for simpler. Wrapping us up for the final book of November is Don't Open Your Eyes by Liv Constantine. By the same author that wrote The Last Mrs. Parrish, which I haven't read, but I've heard nothing but good things about. We know the drill by now. This is a thriller, so I started this at the beginning of the day, got to mopping, got to sweeping, bam, it's the end of the day. It's also the end of the book. This is about Annabelle, and she has these dreams that can predict the future. With being able to predict the future, there's usually always some sort of past element as well. And she's had something happen to her in the past that she's never been able to move on from, never been able to close the door on. These new things start to happen in her life, but she feels happy with her husband, her 2 daughters, they're stable, life is good. Then these dreams start popping up and they're violent in nature, right? People dying and just bad things happening, but she wakes up. So on the cover you can kind of see her like, don't open your eyes. She wakes up and she realizes those things are dreams and they haven't happened yet. She stopped an accident from happening. She just became so anxious about all these different little things. And I mean, in the end, she was right to be. But she's having all these dreams and she's having all these predictions that are coming true, and she doesn't know what to do with them. Enter all the various characters that will be for you to discover, but we find out that no one is good, because who is good in a thriller? We also get POVs from her daughter, and then midway through the book we start hearing from the wife, which we don't know who it is until the end. But from the daughter, she is trying to find out who this sibling is that she has. She thinks that her parents are lying. She's communicating with her family member, right? Because she wants to get down to the bottom of things and how all of these things work together. Learning about Annabelle's past, to how Annabelle wants to be a mother and try to protect the future, to the things that her daughter is doing and how that's affecting the storyline as well. I gave this book 4 stars. The beginning was a little bit slow for me, so I couldn't just say it was a true 5-star read, but I did really enjoy it once it started to pick up. I also appreciated at the end how they kind of walked you through the thrill of it all, if you will. For the most part, I really did enjoy this month of reads. I can't wait to see what December holds for our reads and what we finish out. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Vlogmas is coming up soon, and I don't want you to miss it. Good morning, everyone. It is officially December 1st, so let's read our December 1st chapter. So I'd assume I have about 10-ish pages to read. I'll come back at the end. Here are a couple of things that we have learned about our story. Our main character, Annette, is a sociologist who goes to school in France. I'm curious if because this was published in Toronto, it'll be like Canada, France. There's a lot of like French buildings and names, which has been really cool. But okay, back to what we know. Annette is our main character. She has a boyfriend named Gavin who she doesn't really like, and her friend and roommate Inez also doesn't really like. So Gavin is probably gonna get dumped really soon. Annette describes herself as too tall, too skinny, with straight blonde hair and skin as white as a sheet of paper. Oh, and don't forget the freckles. So that's a bit frightening. Her and her roommate are both sociologists, and they are partnering together on a project. It's the end of the year and they're doing their final project. Last big thing that we learn this chapter is that her family is rich. Gavin's family is rich as well, but his family has inherited their wealth. Annette feels like her family kind of got it out the mud, and Inez doesn't have any money, okay? We've got two rich characters and then a financially up and coming one. This reads like an episode game. I don't think it's gonna be life-changing romance of the year by any means, but it's entertaining. So right now Annette is deciding if she wants to basically drop out because she has so much money to play around with. She's deciding if she wants to drop out or if it's all worth it. She doesn't know why she chose her degree, whatever. We'll find out more on Annette and Friends tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed today's video and the start of many for the month of December. I will see you here, same spot, maybe different time, tomorrow.